and how much of that can they put in, for example, into a kind of data facilitating, data gathering tool, and how much of that then still has to be linked to some kind of generic data sets in behind. So if you know, for example, I use so much energy or so much time on a specific process line, then I can figure out what machine do I have, how much electricity do I use on that process line. That does not tell me which emissions that have, of course. So there might be a mix between the activity data of SMEs, which is easier to collect, so what do you do actually on your site in the processes, and linking that to generic, let's say, life cycle modules, which give you then really the emission profile of that activity, although that never ever was measured at the SME level, and it would make no sense either. And there, I think there's several options where you can simplify in dividing what an SME actually has to gather, what kind of data, and what kind of data will have to be supplied by some kind of generic data in the background.
Thank you. We have the last three questions. That's Jim, Mark, and Rasmus. Let's see.
Thank you. Jim Bracken, GS1 Global Office. David mentioned packaging, and you may be aware, or maybe you're not aware, that we've just almost finished now the standardization of the consumer goods requirements for packaging, called the GPPS, the Global Packaging Protocol. That would actually contain something like 30 attributes. So by summer, by June, we'll actually have available the necessary attributes for packaging sustainability, and would be a great example to do a test on. We were planning to do pilots anyway, but this would be a perfect pilot, and it would contain everything, whether it's plastic, aluminium, paper, etc. Okay.
You see a big nodding here, so maybe you have to write something down. That was Mark here in front.
Thank you. So Mark Didder, the BBCSD. I have a question for Michaela, a very quick one. About the communication slide that you showed earlier in your presentation, you mentioned for the OEF that there would be two reports, an OEF external communication report and an OEF performance tracking report. The reality today is that most companies report their environmental performance in sustainability reports or in integrated reports, and WBCSD is working with the Integrated Reporting Council and other stakeholders to further mainstream and harmonize integrated reporting. So my question is, if a company already reports the relevant information in their sustainability or integrated report, is that from a European Commission perspective then a check mark that it's okay, or do you still expect them to provide these two additional reports, the external communication report and the performance tracking report?
It is not about how you name the report. It is about what information you introduce in the report and how solid, verifiable, and transparent the information is. That's all it's all about. If the way you will report it is in line with the requirements that we have, you don't need to change your reporting. If it is not, as it unfortunately is often in CSR, where basically people can report whatever they want, however they want, without